Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, I'm going to give sort of a brief overview of things to consider before moving to Thailand. If one is seriously considering moving to Thailand, and many do every year, one really should think of a few things before leaving. And the things I'm going to discuss here are things that people don't tend to think about before they leave, especially their home country, and move here to Thailand. The most notable thing is visas. Notwithstanding the fact we deal with a great many visa matters, it's interesting from my perspective to see how many people essentially pick up and move to Thailand without even really looking at the visa situation and understanding what they're eligible for and what they would want to do once in Thailand and the kind of visa that they would need in order to be in the correct legal status. A couple of things to keep in mind is over the course of the past few years it's become more and more difficult to get long-term visas in the region of Thailand, so here in Southeast Asia. So it should be noted that if you haven't left your home country yet and you are intending to possibly move to Thailand, it would definitely be best to talk to a professional or someone who understands these matters and ascertain, or even just ascertain the information oneself on the types of visas that are available to come live here. For example, for those over 50 who meet the financial requirements, a retirement visa is a really popular category. The other thing to keep in mind is things like business visas. If one is married to a Thai national or has Thai national children, it may be possible to get an O visa. But as I said, longer stay visas are getting more and more difficult to obtain, especially one-year visas, and especially in the region surrounding Thailand. Also, it should be noted that over the course of the past approximately 18 months, there's been a crackdown in Thailand with respect to so-called visa runs. There was a time where it was possible to simply be present in Thailand on 30-day stamps. They're called exemption stamps. It's what's given at the airport. And there were many people who just literally did a border run once a month and just continued to get 30-day stamps at the border crossing, immigration border crossing on the border. Those days are long gone. It's really not possible to get to just live continuously in Thailand on 30-day stamps. Tourist visas are also becoming increasingly problematic for those who wish to live in Thailand. Again, there's been much heavier scrutiny placed upon those residing in Thailand for long periods of time on tourist visas. So it should be noted that both of these avenues, while a possibility for some in the past, have become increasingly problematic here recently. With respect to business visas or even O visas for the spouse or a parent of a Thai national, it should be noted that if you haven't left your home country, it's a very good idea to get in contact with somebody like our firm or to just do your research with respect to long-term business or O visas, because in your home country it may be more I shouldn't say less difficult, but it may be more of a possibility to get one of those long-term status visas as opposed to trying to come here to the region and get such a document from here. Finally, it should be noted, another thing to bring up with respect to those wanting to live in Thailand is a major issue is, do you want to work here? If you're wanting to work in Thailand, then you have to provide for you have to understand the necessity of a work permit in Thailand. Many people don't really understand this. I myself have lived in some other countries here in Asia, and most immigration schemes don't have this sort of work permit visa system, in the sense that it's two separate authorizations, basically. For example, I lived in Korea, and in Korea, the visa that I obtained basically had my work authorization attached to it. In Thailand, are two different things. Work permits and visas are not necessarily one and the same. If you have a business visa, it doesn't necessarily mean you're work authorized. Until you've gotten a work permit here in Thailand, you're not work authorized. Something to also keep in mind with respect to work permits is something that comes up fairly often, or a question I get rather routinely is, oh, well, I'm just planning to volunteer in Thailand. I don't need a work permit. Don't make that assumption. The Thai government has, on many occasions in the past, made it abundantly clear that they consider volunteer work. And therefore, those who want to come to Thailand to volunteer need to go ahead and get a work permit. Again, enforcement of these matters, will vary depending on circumstance, but that appears to be the policy of the government is even volunteer work is considered work. Another thing to think about before moving here is some people say, oh, I'll get a visa, I'll just fly under the radar. I might not be able to get a work permit, but I'll fly under the radar. Again, in the past, that might have been a common occurrence. Recently, though, the enforcement mechanism has become such that, trying to quote-unquote fly under the radar is becoming a less and less easy thing by the day. So I wouldn't, just as a matter of course, I wouldn't make the assumption that that would be a possibility here in Thailand. But all is not lost. There are long-term visa strategies for certain individuals. For example, it's interesting, Thailand has a program whereby one can get the so-called elite card. One can essentially pay 500,000 baht and be issued a 5-year business visa. I personally know of a few people who have utilized this new program, and they seem to like it rather well. It's pretty much a straightforward procedure. It's a one-time thing, and you get a 5-year visa. That can be stretched out to 20 years if one is really willing to pay 500,000 baht for each 5-year increment. And as far as I can see, that's going to be the case moving forward in the future. Things like permanent residence and citizenship in Thailand are discussed in another video. But with respect to those who are looking to move here and looking to move here basically for the first time, who've only ever been a tourist here, keep in mind these visa issues because they can be pretty serious. And these days, it's really not as easy as it once was to remain in Thailand using sort of ad hoc, stopgap measures to just sort of cobble together one's physical presence here in the country. It's not like that anymore.